Hello guys, welcome to another episode of TransRoad USA with me, Murphy. We're picking up from where we left off on the last episode. We've still got a couple of trucks on the road, just trying to make some money. We've opened up every single city on the map, which is quite an accomplishment, if I do say so myself. So let's just quickly look at this. We've got one of our trucks heading to Savannah, and we've got the other one going to San Antonio. Now I have had some lessons, pointers, as you could say, from Noble. He's pointed out that the way I have pronounced Los Angeles is incorrect. Yeah. So hopefully that'll be the correct pronunciation now. The same with Des Moines. I've got a friend who's a ex-work colleague, that his first name was Des. So I always look at that and it's Des Moines. So apologies for that. And then Boys, which is Sat. Where's Boys? That's somewhere. There he is. That is Boise, or Boise. Sounds like that. So hopefully I'll get there. If I'm wrong, put some comments in the below, and I'm sure I'll work it out correctly at some point soon. So the idea for today, we have got ourselves. Let's have a look at where we are in our headquarters. Thank you. We're nowhere near on the first rank, so we need to get a lot more money. We need to get a lot more trucks and a lot more drivers. So the only way to do that is actually to hire people. Yes, that's actually a new thing, I think. I don't recall that on the last game where we first got that introduction to it. So let's just turn that off. Right, so we've got our two drivers. Currently, we want another couple of cheap drivers. No, no one's cheap. So that was cheap. There's no one else there, so I'm not going to worry too much now over that. So we'll wait and see. Now, we did actually take out a loan, and if we go to our loans, we still have 252,000 outstanding on that. So we have a lot of money to repay. So we need to get slow down. We need to just get on our way and do it. So actually that's going into Savannah. So that one there. So he's going into Savannah. He's got 2 trips. Okay. Let him get going then. And what about the other one? Is that a single trip? That's 2 trips. That's 2 trips as well. Okay. Oops. And that was completed. Hang on, I don't want you going anywhere without actually earning something. So we go to Albuquerque for a £4,000 profit. We can do Dallas to Little Rock for a few thousand profit. We can go Dallas to Oklahoma City. Dallas to Phoenix, that's quite a trek. 2 trips. Can we get anything back from Dallas to Phoenix? Okay. So we could end up there. So maybe what we'll do is we'll do that Dallas to Phoenix job. Those 2 trips. And as we are going to be doing one, and we only want 1 backhaul, because we kind of want actually we'll just accept that job because that's got 3 days on it, and it's a day 7 hours per trip. Yeah, let's just get this truck, accept that, and put, who are you? You can go onto, don't do this to me, you can go onto there, and you are now looking for work. Oh, I didn't want to go into there. Let's come out. Right, Savannah. So we've got 5 trips to Charlotte. That's going to give us about 4,000 profit. Charlotte, no. We've got Charlotte to Indianapolis. That's going to be a more healthy profit. Can we get... No, I don't want to buy a depot. There we go. So anything to Charlotte's. Oh, we've got 1. Alright, so we can go for this job, which is 3 trip. And is that the one I want? Yeah, that's the one I want. He says 6,000 or just short of £7,000 profit. That's just short of 4.5. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll accept that contract, and we'll get him on his way. So he should. Oop, hang on. I have not put a truck onto that route yet. So let's try again. Let's pop you onto there. Okay. Perfect. Right. So our first job to Phoenix. So we could see whether that job is still sat there. Yes, it is. Let's just wait for him to get a bit closer, and then we'll add that on. And then that way we will have a decent backhaul from Phoenix. There we go. Let's drop it on there. Let's accept. Perfect. Now Indianapolis to Charlotte. We've got 2 trips. So we could do with having 2 trips back to Charlotte. There's one up there. No, not at the moment. So we can take that single trip, I think. There we go. We'll add that to there. Yep. And then we should have a backhaul. Perfect timing. That landed just in time. And what we got going on. Right, so he's now on his return trip. And this one is on his return trip with that mail. Perfect. Perfect. Right, we are currently at 62,000. Ooh. Alright. So he's now on his second trip. And we want to, oops, had some money go out. Perfect, that's opened more options, I think. On, oops. Right, Indianapolis. Do we have anything coming back from Indianapolis to Charlotte again? Yeah, we've got 1 more trip, so let's drop that on. Yes, thank you. And let's find our truck here again. Oops. So we're going to Phoenix, and really we're going to be looking for a job to go from Phoenix elsewhere. It's actually going to pay decent money, and I kind of want him in there before he lands. So let's just pause it. So let's jump onto Dallas to Phoenix. Right, so what have we got here? We've got 2 trips to Albuquerque. We've got 1 trip back to Phoenix. 3 trips to Denver. That's showing a nice profit. Or we can do 1 trip to Denver. Now, our previous series we had bread and butter trips between Kansas and Denver between the airports. So maybe I want to try and get 1 truck back to be able to handle that sort of operation. And I think that's probably what I'm going to do. Perfect. Right, and the other contract from Charlotte to Indianapolis, that's going to be delivered. Perfect. So we're now heading back to Indianapolis. So I can look at doing a forward trip somewhere that's actually going to give us some decent profit. And nowhere's given us any profits. Okay, that Pittsburgh is the closest so far. 2 trips to St. Louis. Okay, do you know what? I'm going to go for that one. Okay, because they're relatively close. And where are you going? Phoenix to Dallas. Ah, sent him back this way, haven't I? Oh, I was going to Denver. I thought I chose the Denver one. Okay. So Dallas to Oklahoma City. Alright, let's just get that a bit closer. Okay. Let's take that job. Yeah. And this one's going to be going to St. Louis to Indianapolis. That's 3 trips. Let's pause that for a second. That's not too shabby money actually. So let's just accept that St. Louis to Indianapolis. That could become a bread and butter job as well. And where's our other truck? So he's gone to Oklahoma. Perfect. So now Oklahoma to Albuquerque. Or should we just go back to Oklahoma to Kansas? Do we have anything between Kansas and Denver? Right. Okay, I am actually going to go for that because, yes, it's a bit of a drive. Actually, I'm going to let him just travel up there, actually. Yeah. So he's heading home. Perfect. So let's say we put on our Denver. That will become quite a profitable route, I think. Although we could do St. Louis. That is actually quite tempting. Actually, we're talking 656 miles per trip, or we go to St. Louis at 300 miles and we make a lot more money. Okay, we'll do that. Yes, thank you. And let's pop our other driver on there. Do we have anything from St. Louis to Kansas? Which we do. Perfect. Let's just get this moving again. Right, and that's that new one. We're going on the second trip to St. Louis. Alright. Then we're going to return to Indianapolis. And we want Indianapolis. Oops. No. No. There we go. Indianapolis back to St. Louis. I think I only want one single trip. There's 3 there. No. Now that looks like a very profitable run. but that's not where I want to be at the moment. My hometown is Kansas, and I want that to become where my bread and butter is. Okay. Right. So St. Louis to Kansas. So I need something back to Kansas again, don't I? So one trip. Yeah, let's go with that. Okay, so we've now finished that contract. We can, oops, he's out of there. So let's put him. Is there anything else? St. Louis to Kansas there is that one more trip. Let's drop that on there. Yes. And let's put this driver onto that specific part of that route. That will mean he'll jump onto there and they'll both be doing jobs, which will be perfect. Perfect. Right. We've got 3 trips left from St. Louis back to Kansas. 4 trips. Okay, well that will do. For those 2 trucks. Okay, so £2,000 income for that. Okay, and what we're going to get for going back? Just short of 2,000. I mean, it's only a few hundred miles. I'm afraid, yeah, I'm not in a position for that job. Okay, so we're on to the last delivery now, I think. That contract's filled, so we just now 2 trips back. Perfect, and then they'll be back in our hometown. So, we now want to start getting our bread and butter route to the airport. Okay. I'm going to have to do a single trip, which is a bit of a pain. So let's just leave 1 truck on there. Alright. 1 truck will head home. And the other one is going to go to 3 trips. 1 trip to Dallas. Let's have a think of this again. Kansas. Actually, do you know what? We've got that 5 trips there now. So I can put that onto that job. Accept. Alright, and we can put that vehicle onto that job as well. And we can then see what we can get back from Denver to Kansas. So we've got 2 trips there, which is perfect. So let's accept those 2. And let's get these trucks on the road. Okay, so they've got backhauls already sorted out, which is great. And they're now on to the return trip. Okay. And then Denver back. What? Hang on, what's going on here? Kansas to Denver. They went back empty-handed. Right, I did that wrong then, didn't I? That's a bit of a shame. So these are returning now to Kansas City. And they should jump onto this job. So from Kansas to Denver. Right, okay, so it should have opened up more routes. No, it hasn't yet. So that's a single trip back. I'll accept that. And hopefully by the time that job has landed and the contract's ended, we can then pick up another contract. Right, okay. So let's see what's available. Kansas, 2 trips. Now the profit is really dropping on that, which is a shame actually. So I need something that's going to give us some more profit from where we are. So 1 truck's going back, he's going to be picking up just 1,500. And I've got the option to put a single truck on 900, 400. Okay, that's going to be a bit more profit. Or I could truck them onto this Oklahoma City. So we've got 3 trips down to Oklahoma. And we've got, how many have we got back to Denver? Or if we have not got anything. No, we've got nothing going back to Denver. We do have Albuquerque though. Alright. I've got the 2 trips. £3,500 profit. I think if we take that job and then we want, hang on, Denver to Kansas, Denver to Kansas. Yeah, that's right, because I've got 1 truck on there and I'll have another truck on here. Then I want Kansas, then back to Denver. 4 trips. Okay, so that's where our bread and butter is starting to come from. Let's put that truck onto that job. Perfect. Let them get on with that. So we've got £100,000. We could probably do with investing that more wisely. I think. Hurry up, come on. Oh, that's actually 2 trips. Okay. So 1. That's not too bad then. That's a little bit better than I thought. How are we doing on miles? We've got 13,000 miles. Alright, so this truck now is going to be hitting Denver and doesn't have a return haulage. So we can put on Denver to hang on, where's he going? So this truck is going between Kansas and Denver. That other truck is on that job. So that should work out right. Yeah, let's just hope that that works. Yeah, perfect. So he's going to be heading back from Denver to Kansas with 1 job. So we need some more. So accept that one. Okay. So that job's complete, and there's 2 trucks now heading from, is it? Denver to Kansas. Oh, hang on. Oh no, he's gone back empty-handed. That was not a clever thing to do. Okay, so one of these is going to end, and there we go. Right, so he can stay there. He's got 2 trips from Kansas to Denver. Alright, so he's going to pick up there, that's fine. So we need a Denver back again. Right, okay, so that's sorted. Excellent, so 130,000. Now we do have this Portland location up here. So that's going to be, hang on, what's he doing? You, where are you? You're in Kansas. You're going to be heading back to the depot. So if we can have another Kansas City job, Denver. Alright, so there we go. That's where we start getting the bigger bucks, as it were. And a longer term for it as well, which is kind of what we want. Okay, so he's now on that route. He's heading home with a nice little trip, which will and then jump onto here. So that's got 5 trips. So again, we need that job. Okay. Let's keep them going, and we've had some loan payments go out by the looks of things. Alright. Kansas to Denver. Hang on, why is 2 trucks on that trip? Why are they doing the Denver to Kansas? Okay, it must be a little bug, because that should have picked up that contract and not headed home empty. That's a little frustrating. Okay. So that Denver to Kansas is complete. Then they're going to have 2 trips back to Kansas to Denver, and then that job will be complete. So let them land with this job, and hopefully we'll have opened up enough happiness in Denver. What are we doing here? We are 7 out of 12 for level 3. Okay, so we could jump or drop that on there. Yeah, let's go for that. And then we can pick up, once that job has been delivered and that one arrives, we should be able to pick up another job from Kansas to then return back. So there we go. Perfect. So we want Kansas to Denver. Yeah, perfect. Once we've got everything up to the highest happiness levels, then we should be getting the 50 plus trips, and then we know we can just leave 2 trucks running on that for a while, and then just get some more trucks on the route elsewhere. Okay, so that's landed. So that Kansas to Denver. Alright, so we are going to have a little time, because he's on that route and we've got one on that route, and there's only 1 job left. So we could really do with Denver to Kansas again. Okay. Let's see whether our truck actually picks up the contract this time. That was a bit frustrating before. Should go on to that one. Yeah, he's gone on to that one. Perfect. That's the way it needs to do it. Interestingly, now they're... oh, no, they're not. We're neck and neck. Right, what is our company doing? We've got some more drivers. Do we have any? Oh, perfect. 260. 380, that's another good one. 370, 360. 350. 300. So what about the cents per mile? So the 300 guy wants 40 cents. This guy who wants $50 more is happy to work for less per mile. Bearing in mind they do drive a lot of miles. 43, that's quite expensive. 37. Okay, so I am going to go for our friend here. Where is he? So he's going to cost me more per week, but in the actual base wage, but his additional cents per mile is a lot cheaper. Perfect. So I now need to get 2 more trucks. Cool. Right, let's have a look what we've got trucks wise. We've got 140,000 here. Okay, so I've bought new trucks on the other vehicles. No, nothing there. Let's have a look at what we've got here. Because it was like a really good horsepower that we bought. No, don't want any of those. That's a triple, so they must be all triples at least. Yeah. Over here. Triple again. Nah, I don't need any of those. Now, have I bought the concession? No, I haven't. So I can go for the reefer. That will not give me any... You know, I'm going to buy that and let this run a bit longer. That just gives me the ability to say, right, okay, starting over here, we can do some trips that should bring us some more money. There you go, something like that. Playing, thank you. Let's get this speeded up a bit. Murphy speed, as Noble calls it. Right, that job's ended, so he's going to head back. I've already got other jobs sorted for it, that's good. Right, okay, our loans just went out, so that was a bit of a chunk that came out. Wow. Okay. So we want Kansas now again to Denver. I mean, that's an interesting contract. 20,000. That's going to be 400 miles, 500 miles. And that'll actually open up the oil. We then have anything from Dallas back to Oklahoma, Phoenix. No. That would be a single trip back down. It's tempting. But we then have the Kansas to Denver, 15 trips, because we've opened up the happiness levels, which is what we kind of were working for, or working towards. So let's drop that on there. And then hopefully we'll be able to get a similar sort of quantity trips back from Denver to Kansas. So, right. Kansas. Oh, what have I done? They're both on that job now. Oh, rats. I want Denver back to Kansas. So they should pick that up. Oh, you numpty. Right, let's hope that works out now. Seems I've put them onto the wrong contract. Should jump onto this one next. No, they haven't. They've gone on to... Ah, my goodness me, no. One's gone back and the other one's gone to do that job. That is a pain. That's probably where I went wrong then. Yeah, definitely. That job will be finished. They'll jump onto that. Excellent. And we've got Denver to Kansas. So one job once he goes back. Oh, hang on! Whoa, 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 whoa! Oh dear! Right, that's more cost. So you're going to have to jump onto servicing. 20,000. Well, I need to get it done before the truck breaks down. Come on. So you're going to head back. So you're the last trip there. Ooh, very close. Right, Denver to return to Kansas. 15 trips. Let's just wait for him to get a bit closer. No, I haven't got all those bits yet. Although I have opened everything up. Don't have a truck and I don't have a reefer, so that's 2 trips to those. So that could have been quite a nice one to do, but I don't have the trucks as yet. Right, so that's now cost me a load of money. And we can now jump on the Denver to Kansas route again. Yeah. Right. Excellent. So he should be going straight onto that job, which he is. Excellent. Now, our other truck is going to be coming up for servicing. 2,000 or 3,000 miles, so 2 more trips and he'll need it, I think. So, yeah. So that's going quite well. Ooh, we're in the red. Are we? No, we're okay. Oh, we are going to go into the red though. Ouch. He is going to seriously need another service. Rats. Okay, so at least we've got the money for the actual servicing, and we've done it in time. Perfect. And he's now heading back Kansas to Denver. And we should have Denver to Kansas, 10 trips. Perfect. Excellent. Excellent. Right. As long as everything works out, we could end up being okay for the next payment, loan repayment. So I think it's 32,000 we pay out. Alright, so let's have a look. What's the actual loans? Weekly rate. Hang on. Do I actually have a loan anymore? Have I paid it off? Look at my cash flow. So contract payments, that's coming in. Fixed truck costs, trailer costs, fuel costs, maintenance costs. Market and loan rates. That's March. January. Loan rates are 90,000. February 132. Okay, maybe we have paid off the loan and we don't owe anything. If that's the case, that is looking good. That's looking very good, actually. So we can either do two things. We can either take out another loan and get those reefers up and running, and as we've now got some, let me just slow this down actually. We're in March, yeah. Yeah, because I'm looking at that and it should tell me if there's an extended loan here. Alright, maybe we should we'll let this run a bit longer. See whether I get hammered with another loan repayment, even though it's not showing me, just in case. But either way, we'll then have enough money to go and buy some more trucks and trailers. Time to buy trailers is during a downturn, so I may do that for the reefers if they go into a recession period. Or I might just buy a couple of spare standard trailers. Right, so okay, 40,000. Now you can actually buy things, or you can take over your competitors, but I think you need to actually have where we're going. Rank, sessions, loans, cash flow, competitors. You can send an inquiry. So they got one truck and tipper. Company value is just over 500,000. Okay. These guys, 2 trucks, standard trailers. So he's got a triple axle. Okay, so what is my company valued at? I'm valued at, yeah, just same sort of value as those two, so that's not good. And they've got more money than me. A lot more money than me. Right, okay, so we're on the last 2 trips from Kansas now. So that'll be picking up that next one. So let's pause that. So that single trip there, we now need to make sure we get this in the right place. So we want Kansas. Oh dear. Kansas to Denver is what I want. And I want that in between there Yes. So when this truck comes off the contract, goes on to... Oh, hang on. Was that right? Then, yeah, that was right. Cool, right. Get myself a bit worried then for a second. Thought I did it wrong. Again. Right, so we are going to be needing to get another contract between Kansas and Denver. 20 trips. So that's got 2 trips going back. And right, so it's that job I want. So Denver to Kansas. Not the other way around. Yeah. Got it wrong, hadn't I? I knew I'd get it wrong. So that has 1 single trip remaining. That's now 8 to 9 completed. So one of these trucks will have that job, and the other one will have... Oops, hang on, whoa, hang on. Yeah, reverts, changes. So, one truck is heading to Denver, one truck is heading from Denver, so I want Denver to Kansas to go here. Yeah, that's where I want it. So it's nice and smooth transition. Perfect. Yep, he's on there, that's grand. Right, we've had a load of money go out, so what have we had money go out for? Cash flow. Loan rates, nothing's more's gone out for marketing, or sorry, loan rates, so that makes me think actually, do you know what, we were right on the loan, so it has actually been paid off. Which is all good news. Right, okay, so let me just pause this for a second. I think it's time to go for additional trucks. So we're going to be up in Portland. We've got some little trips here. San Francisco, 1 trip. Okay. Seattle. Alright, so there's some good money in that. So I need a couple of reefers. And I need them at a good price. So how much am I looking at having to spend? 51,000. Ouch. That's a lot of money. Alright, so if I'm looking at 51,000, I might as well buy them from here. Alright, so that's 100,000, so he's got them in stock, but he hasn't got the trucks I want at the moment. And nope. I was looking for a higher horsepower truck again. Don't want a triple. Don't need a triple. He's got nothing. That's just not very good. Did he have anything? No, he didn't. But I suppose I could go for the newer trucks. Oh dear me, quad. Don't think I need a quad. Yeah, definitely don't need quads. I mean, they're 500 horsepower is what I was kind of wanting. Don't really want to buy a second-hand truck. Although I think sometimes beggars can't be choosers, and this might be one of those times, or maybe not. Has he got a couple of the same? Okay, interestingly, he has got 300. He's got 300s at the same price. Now, I've got 2 drivers already. Let's take out a loan. And let's take out a, let's see, it's going to be 80, 160, 260. So let's take 300 out. Again, let's do it over 8 weeks so it's done and dusted. And let's go and buy new trucks and trailers. Now, again, I would have rather liked to have had a higher Portland. Yes, Portland. A higher horsepower vehicle. But I think in this situation I can only do what I can do. Here we go. Right, so we've now got our trucks en route to Portland, and they're all there. Perfect. Let's just jump straight in into Portland. Let's put our new drivers on the case. Excellent. Right, we now need contracts for reefers, and we've now got 2 concessions and we've got 4 trucks, so 2 operating both. So this is where things are going to get really, really interesting. So we want something that's going to make us money. So let's see whether we can actually create a job. Oops. So we had 1 trip to Boise. Can we then have another job to Denver? That's interesting. 4,000 per trip. Ooh. That's interesting. Let's jump onto that. Okay. All right. Let's drop one of our drivers onto this job, and then see whether we've got another job that's actually actually we can drop them both onto this job. Perfect. Let's drop our other driver onto this one. Okay, so that gives us oops, come on. 2 jobs from Portland to Boise. Then we're going from Boise to Denver. And that's 3 trips. So do we have Denver? We do have Denver back to Boise. That's even better. Perfect. So that could work a treat for us. What's going on our other contracts? That's 2 and 10. That's fine. Excellent. So, right, so Denver now. So let's first of all, oops, let them get to about here, and then we'll look at what jobs are available. Right, pause that there. So making sure we're on the right type of vehicle, which is the reefer, and we're going to head from Denver back to Boise, unless there's really other better option? Nope, there isn't, so perfect. We'll accept that job. Okay, so they can go into there. Have a look at our other contract on standard traders, 4 and 9 out of 20, which is fine. Alright, so they're now taking their first trip back. We're going to have to decline that, I'm sorry. Los Angeles to Phoenix, 3 trips. About 6 trips. No, no, not at the moment. Not at the moment. Wow, that's a long way up there. Wow. Okay. So we're now heading back down to Denver, and it's at this point we've only got enough work for 1 vehicle. So I want to see what other jobs we've got. Denver to Albuquerque. That's 12,000 bonus. This one's going to be going to Denver. Hang on. Hang on. How can one truck be on one job and the other on the other when they're both going in different directions? Ah. I think that one of these trucks has automatically jumped onto the other assignment and is heading back empty just so that it actually has a job. That is frustrating. Right, so who's that? Right, okay, so that's what's happened. Alright, so we have Denver to Albuquerque, 10 trips, 21,000. I like the sound of that. And I'm going to pop that onto a new schedule. Denver to Albuquerque. Then do we have anything back, I wonder? Albuquerque to Denver. 5 trips. Perfect. Excellent. So we should have 1 driver that's available to jump onto that job. Perfect. And then we've got our other contract here heading back from Denver to Boise, and we kind of want them to go back to Denver. Boise. Kind of want them to go back to Denver if we can. There isn't anything there. We do have this job. A local trip, so I'm going to accept that local trip job. That'll just boost her up. Jobs within Boise or Boise. Excellent. Right. So, okay. So he's on 3 of 4. Okay. Right, he's on his last trip now. So I want boys to... nope. Nope. St. Helena, no. I want Portland. No. Alright, I'm just going to drop him onto this other contract because this is kind of important to ensure that we... So Denver to Albuquerque, I want that job looked after. So that's fine. So how's this other... Ooh, hang on. Denver So we need Denver back to Kansas. Denver to Denver, Denver to Kansas. Okay, so we'll accept that. Okay, what's that bonus on this job? 40-odd thousand, perfect. Right, okay. That's looking good. That is looking really good, actually. Right, okay. This is where I kind of knew something like this would happen. So, now we've got 2 lots of trucks operating. If there's no jobs there, that we can actually send them back to the depot to change the wagons, and they can do different trips. But it's also the right time to buy reefers. Oh, only dropped by 5,000. Maybe not then. Okay. And 218, so we're getting close to this job to be complete. Oops. Right, contract has been fulfilled, so we now need Albuquerque to come back somewhere. Ooh, we do have other trips. Now we've got 4 to do. So why don't we... How much profit that's going to be? Yeah, let's do that for that job. We don't have to think about those for another short spell. And then we can deal with that one. But I think we'll call it a day for this episode. We've been able to unlock the reefers. We've got 2 reefers up and running. Let's have a look at our company headquarters. We've got 1 more truck and trailer and driver to get before we can actually jump up to the next rank. We could do with having a look at some drivers for next time, and also we can work out what trucks to buy. We have been buying brand new trucks to make it a little bit more cost effective based on the actual hours between services. We have a company value of 840,000, which is absolute stonking, considering we still owe 300,000. Okay. That's yeah, okay. Remaining loan amounts 272. So we could pay off the whole loan. Yeah, we could pay off the whole loan. That wasn't working properly previously. We paid off the loan, then we wouldn't be paying all the extra interest on it. I don't think. No, I'm going to leave that to next time, make a decision on that next time. Also, if we look at our competitors, this is kind of what I was thinking about was, okay, they're now worth 700,000. They've got 2 trucks, 2 different specialities, and they've got 4 trucks and worth $1 million. Ouch. Okay. So at the moment we couldn't take over any of these. Very interesting. I would be more inclined to go for this one because it's actually in Des Moines. Yeah, I would be. And they've also got additional concessions, so whether I could, when buying that, I would get those. So that would be interesting. Right, thank you very much for watching. If you'd like what you've seen, hit that subscribe. And until next time, that's Murphy out.